branched out from the Firesign Theater. We became known as Half the Wits of the Firesign Theater. And we toured the country, and we toured Canada, and even got to Hawaii with our act. Whereas the other guys, the two other guys, didn't want to tour as much. Phil Lawson, for instance, didn't like to fly, and that kind of put a crimp in the ability of the Firesign Theater to perform as a four-man unit. Even though we did, we played venues like Carnegie Hall at the height of our career.
Wow.
And we had a very exciting touring career, but it was slightly awkward because Phil would have to drive to all of the venues with his dogs and his wife in a van, and we would fly on ahead, and we'd do promotion on radio shows and things, and then hope that he caught up with us in time to go on stage and do the show, right? So with Peter and me, it was just two suitcases filled with quick change costumes and masks and props and crazy sound effects and things. And we managed to tour all over the country, and we did 3 records, TV or not TV, What This Country Needs, and Give Us a Break during that time. And yet we were still able to work with Firesign and kind of extend, if you will, the effect of the group into throughout the country, because we were making ourselves available and meeting our fans and everything. And that also led to writing a movie called J-Men Forever, which you should look for on the web
as
well. Okay, and that's a cut-up of old Cliffhanger Republic serials, completely overdubbed, to tell the story of the invasion of our country by a mad dictator from the moon who was trying to destroy us with rock and roll. Which is, of course, true. It's a documentary, And then later, the whole Firesign Theater did another cut-up movie for Cinemax, for early cable television, called The Madhouse of Dr. Beers, starring Don Adams of Get Smart fame. So, we managed to parlay our performance chops into something else. And today, I still perform with a classical theater company here in Los Angeles. Actually, we've just built our own theater in Glendale, which we're very excited about. And it's called the Antias Company, and my wife, Melinda Peterson, and I have been performing there as part of the wonderful repertory company for about 15 years now.
I've heard of that theater company.
You've heard of them? Good. No, it's a wonderful company. And the latest production is La Liaison Dangereuse, which I'm going to go see soon. So my darling wife is going in for an ankle replacement surgery next Wednesday. And so she's going to be recuperating here at home for about 6 weeks. And I'm going to be on my own. So I'm going to be catching some movies and plays and have to come back and tell her all about it until she gets back on her feet again.
I hope she gets well.
Thank you, Trey. Thank you very much.
Let's mention some of your voice acting work. You've done quite a few voice overs. You've done the Rugrats. You've done you've done some video games. Assassin's Creed. Done a whole bunch. I'm a big I'm a big fan of your work because I recognize your voice in mostly everything I've watched when I was a little kid,
Oh, that's great. Yeah, well, we work to disguise our voices, but it's also flattering when people recognize the fact that we've done certain things. I was Howard, as you know, on the Rugrats, the father of Phil and Lil, for 14 years. That's how long we did that series. In fact, we did it for such a long time that they did a spin-off called All Grown Up, in which they actually had to put gray into our cartoon characters' hair. Our cartoon characters were aging as fast as we were, And then Dr. Vidic, I played in Assassin's Creed for 4 years, and that was really fun because they used a motion capture helmet that was developed up in, you've probably heard about it, up in Montreal, and you wear this device, and it captures your facial movements and translates it into computer image of your face. and then they lay the character's face over that framework, so that when you see the Assassin's Creed game or you play it, my character, every facial expression that my character makes is basically me underneath this computer mask that they laid over me. And I did scores and scores of voices for games, some of which you probably wouldn't recognize because they were in French, Italian, Russian, Spanish, other languages that I can speak. In a lot of the Second World War games, Call of Duty and all that kind of stuff. It's odd because if you go to the IMBD website where actors are listed, all the works are listed. You see this incredible amount of work that I've done, and almost all of it, or I should say the majority of it, are voiceovers. Oh, the most fun, of course, was the Drunken French Monkey.
And Dr. Dolittle. Yeah.
We did 5 of those after the original movie, and oh my gosh, it was so much fun to be the silly monkey, and to put my voice into the little capuchin monkey that was playing my part. I didn't have to get into monkey makeup, so that was really good.
Do you have any upcoming projects in voiceovers or with the Firesign Theater or acting? Or
Well, I will be. The Firesign Theater is continuing to release archival material that we did, rare stuff that never reached a wider audience. So if you go to firesigntheater.com, you'll see all the stuff that we have. We have a radio service that streams 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they play excerpts from our records and our radio shows. There's a book you can get at firesigntheater.com called Duke of Madness Motors, which has an MP3 in it of 85 hours of our radio shows, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's a beautifully, I don't know if you see the book, it's beautifully illustrated. There's a whole lot of my collages in it, and it tells the story of our radio years from the perspective of each one of the 4 members. The next bunch of radio-oriented stuff that our archivist Taylor Jessen is working on is going to be what are known as the Magic Mushroom shows. Now, you probably didn't hear those. The Firesign Theater was very, very influenced, as were Monty Python, by the Goon shows in England. Are you aware of them?
Not the Goon shows, but Monty Python.
Okay, you should check out the Goon shows, which starred Peter Sellers and Spike Milligan and a guy named Harry Seacombe. They were shows. They're very surrealistic half-hour radio shows that were on in the United Kingdom during the war years and up into the 50s. If you just Google Goon shows, and listen to any one of them, it will change your life. And you'll see immediately where the surrealistic inspiration for Firesign Theater and Monty Python, and so many of the English comedians particularly, comes from the inspiration of these crazy people doing the thing called the Goon Show. So anyway, talking about new material, the Magic Mushroom shows were half-hour live performances at a club, which is really kind of like Prairie Home Companion back in the early 70s, but a more psychedelic, surrealistic, flipped out, hippified version of it. Peter Bergman was the host, and we'd interview people like David Crosby, and then they'd sing songs, and then as part of the show, the 4 of us would write an original crazy half-hour performance piece and stand it up in front of the audience. And we've collected all of the shows that we could find, and they will be released soon as a CD of those great shows and those great memories.
I'll have to check that out. I will.
Oh, and one other thing. Right now, on your local PBS station, although I can't tell you when or where, I am performing the part of a real historical character named John Randolph of Roanoke. And he was an early abolitionist along with Francis Scott Key. Okay?
Yeah.
And this is called Francis Scott Key after the song. And if you go to fscottkey.com, you will see pictures of me and the other wonderful actors, all bewigged, bothered, and bewildered. And this PBS show, it's a 3-part series about the attempt to end slavery at the end of the 18th century. That's right, yeah, in the 1700s. And we're interviewed as ghosts, so that everything that we say in the documentary is really our own words, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely fascinating. And my character, John Randolph, he had a very high voice, a Southern accent, and he used to go onto the floor of the Senate, where he served for many, many, many years, with 2 white Afghan hounds and his Negro boy servant, all dressed up in Chinese finery, Persian finery, and I'd hold forth for hours on end about these causes. This is a man who inherited over 300 slaves and dedicated his life to freeing them. So on his deathbed, they were all freed. He set aside land for them to go to, and it took them, so many years before they could actually go to that land and live lives as free men and women. But it's an inspiring story, and it's called, as I say, Francis Scott Key after the song.
I'll check that out also.
Good.
We're out of time for our interview. It was a pleasure talking to you, Mr. Proctor.
And you, sir. And perhaps we can do it again sometime. Send me a link, and people can follow me at planetproctor.com, where I publish a blog profusely illustrated for about 25 years. And then, by all means, buy my autobiography if you're interested in my crazy history and the Firesign Theater story as well. Mm-hmm. It's available at Amazon.com, and it's called Where's My Fortune Cookie?
Thank you, and it was a pleasure talking to you, and I wish you more success in your voiceover career and the Firesign Theater.
Thank you so much, Trey. Do stay in touch, all right?
I will. Thank you.
Okay. God bless everyone.
All right. Bye-bye.